All right, we're going to begin. Um, hey, can you open us in prayer, Pastor Fred? Open us in prayer. Okay, we're in the book of. Oh, you're being good. The book of Judges, chapter 8. Gideon, we're talking about Gideon. He's one of the judges most of us know, correct? Who's the other famous judge we know? Gideon is one. Who's the other famous judge we know? You know what he said? Judge Judy. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. So Gideon's one of the famous ones. Who's the other famous judge we know? Deborah. One more. There you go. Samson. Yes. So we learn that Gideon started started as a zero, became a hero, but he will not finish well. He will not end well. He does not finish his race well. Now, we're going to look on what happened to Gideon at the end of his life so we can be aware of it. You, oh, yeah, yeah. You know why you fell? Because you're walking like this and trying to do the squeak thing. Yes, you hear him? Oh, yeah. You okay? All right. We're in Gideon chapter 8, all right? Now, I mean, sit. We're in Judges chapter 8. So we're going to look what took him down. We're going to see what took him down, all right? So let's go to Judges chapter 8, and we're going to go to verse 18, okay? Get there. Good, all right? We're going to read verses 18 and 19. The book of Judges. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Then said he unto Zebah and Zalmunna, what manner of men were they whom he slew at Tabor? And they answered, as thou art. So were they, each one resembled the children of the king. And he said, they were my brethren, even the sons of my mother. As the Lord liveth, if ye had saved them alive, I would not slay you. So we're going to look what took Gideon down. Okay? It started small, it got bigger, and it took him down. Remember, he started as a zero, ended up as a hero, but he didn't finish his race well. And we're going to see what happened to him. And I want you to put your thinking caps on this evening. This evening, I'm going to ask you a few questions from the word. And if you can answer these, I'm going to pat you in the back, man. So you're going to look at verse 18. And this verse 18 gives us an insight what starts the takedown. Verse 18, take some time, read it. Now remember, he was a zero, became a hero, and this verse is an insight that begins the takedown. What was it? Read the verse and pick it out. If you can pick it out. What was the start of the takedown? Verse 18 tells you. Remember, he's approaching these two kings, right? And he's having a conversation with these two kings. And Listen what these two kings said to him that stopped the takedown. Can you figure it out? Verse 18. Look at the end of verse 18. Listen what these two kings. Remember, Gideon. There you go, right? Listen what he's saying. Listen. These two kings are butting him up. They said to him, this is what they said to Gideon. Hey, you're nobility. You come from royalty. Did Gideon come from royalty? No. Okay. So these two kings, they're going to get their heads cut off, right? They're going to get killed. But they're flattering Gideon, right? And I'm telling you here today, flattery is dangerous. Okay? Wait. We're going to read a few verses. Then I'm going to ask you why it's dangerous. Okay? So let me read Proverb 26:38. So these two kings, they're going to get killed. But before they get killed, they're going to smooth Gideon. Hey, you look, you're a king. You look, you're royalty. You're nobility. Gideon's not nobility. Gideon's nothing but royalty, right? Now listen to flattery. Proverb 26:28. A lying tongue hated those that are afflicted by it. Now listen. And a flattering mouth worketh ruin. Listen to Proverb 29:5 says, a man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet. Flattery is dangerous. Why? In this case, these two kings are flattering. It's dangerous. Why? Why is flattery dangerous? There you go. Right, there you go. So it breeds conceit, self exaltation, self glorification. It breeds pride. Okay? Gideon, is going to believe the lie. Okay? Remember, which begins the takedown. He's going to believe the lie. And he's going to be taken down to the mat. Because he's going to believe that he is royalty. And you know where it starts? In his heart. And he's not royalty. And he's not nobility. Right? Now listen how he starts. Judges 6:15. Okay? Turn there. Judges 6:15. Now I'm going to ask you questions. I want you to think. We're going to read these verses. I'm going to slow down and we're going to think. Okay? Judges 6:15. And he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. What is Gideon telling the Lord? He's poor. What else? He's a nobody. His tribe is insignificant. So he starts off thinking he's nothing. He's telling the Lord, I'm poor. My tribe, I come from a small clan in the tribe of Manasseh, right? But through time, he begins to think he is something. That's dangerous. Hey, I'm a peon. Every once in a while, I want to flap my wings. I think I'm an eagle. I'm nothing but a... It's dangerous, right? Isn't it? It's dangerous. It's dangerous, right? This guy starts off thinking he's nothing, but through time he thinks he's something. Let me ask you something. Who made Gideon someone? God, not man. God, right? God, right? It was God. Now listen to. I love Gideon. I love Gideon. Because Gideon starts off low. He thinks he's high. And when he thinks he's high, he ruins it all. Okay? Listen what Jeremiah 17:5 says. You want me to read it? You want to turn there? Okay, I'll read it. Jeremiah 17:5. Listen. Thus saith the Lord, cursed Be the man that trusted in man and make it flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. What is this verse saying? What is the verse saying? I just read. Hey, so flattery breeds self, um, pride, breeds content, breeds content, self. Okay, let's go first, right? We just read a verse. These guys butter him up. He gets prideful. That's what it breeds. Then we know when you don't start trusting the Lord, you start trusting yourself. It breeds self-confidence. Okay? So listen, trusting less on God and more on self and man is bad, isn't it? Now let me ask you a question. Okay? It's so common sense. You see it all the time in men. Okay? When you become puffed up, right? What do you want to hear from man?
Praise.
You're the what a pastor. What you're so good. Really? Really? You're wonderful. Dangerous. Dangerous. One lady comes up to a pastor and said, "Hey, you did an awesome job." He turns to her and says, "I know, the devil already told me." You, hey, listen. At this moment in time, I'm trusting in the Lord. Okay? When I was younger, you know what I loved to hear?
Great job.
You know what the Lord did? Gave me slap after slap. See, right? When we get puffed up, we want to hear praise, don't we? Oh, you're good. Then somebody says you're not good, you get all bent out of shape. You get all bent out of shape. You know something? When we want, it robs glory from who? God. Right. You know, Gideon will start taking the glory. And we're going to see that God takes him to the mat. He, he gets taken down. Question, do people love glory? Right? And right? People love glory, right? People love. Is it okay to pat someone on the back? Is it okay to say, hey, great message, preacher? I hear that maybe one time a week from one person. He laughed. He laughed. I don't. Oh, that was being whatever. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, this is true, man. Right? Yeah. Oh yeah. We love glory. Oh yeah. That's the way we build. We like to take the glory. We love them. Oh, and you got to watch out the one who does it. He could be or she could be tricky because setting you up, binga, right? You better believe it. Okay, let's.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it works. That's right. Hey, no, you know something. You can flatter people. You can give people compliments, okay? But make sure they're honest. Make sure because you don't want the fence to be painted, so you give a little. Hey, that's a little smartness too. But be careful, all right? You, encouragement is good. I encourage you, and you encourage me. What's gonna happen is I want to do a better job for you. Vice versa, doing it the right way, encouraging each other in the right way. We will go far, but don't be sneaky with the flattery, right? These kings huh? Right? So, yeah. So he was getting praised by his enemy. His enemies, the two kings were the enemies. So he was getting praised by the enemies, and he starts believing that, and that starts the takedown. So he gets praised by his enemies, the two kings. Starts the takedown, and he starts to believe it. Right? So it breeds pride, right? It breeds self-confidence and also breeds contempt. Now watch. in your own mind. It started in this. It starts in the heart and the mind. Okay, but it's a down. You watch. So the kings butter him. So he has self conceit. Then it's self confidence. Now we're going to see self contempt. He's. We're going to see what happens here. I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, listen to this. So you got these two kings who tries to butter him up, right? And listen what he says. And he said unto Jether, firstborn, up, slay them. But the youth drew not his sword, for he feared, because he was yet a youth. So these kings butter up Gideon. Hey, you come from royalty. You come from nobility. He starts, okay, right? And then he tells his younger kid, okay, younger son, pick up the sword, go kill those kings. Here's the question. Why would Gideon tell this young boy, his young son, to kill those two kings? Okay, what else? Okay. Now listen. He's telling um a young boy, his young son, pick up the sword and kill those kings, men, warriors. Go kill them. What is Gideon? Why would he tell his young son, a young youth, to go kill? Okay, huh? To disgrace the kings. To disgrace the kings. Good job. Excellent. He's saying to the young boy, his young son, hey, go take those guys. They're insignificant. They just peons in my eyes. That's right, to disgrace them. The boy says no. And then the king says, why are you sending the boy to do this? You do it. Don't send the boy. Man up and you do it. But he was sending his son as a signal to saying to those kings, you're peons. In my eyes, you're insignificant. My little son are going to take you down. Right? Interesting. Good job. Right? Now, I want you, so I want you to read this verse, okay? All right? So we know it breeds conceit, okay? Self-confidence, and it brings he's angry. He's angry at those kings. He thinks those kings are nothing. That's what pride does, right? Doesn't pride do that? Doesn't pride, think about it, right? You think you're something, okay? You get self-confidence because you hear the nonsense, it gets in your head, right? You know you're too fry short of a happy meal. Then suddenly you think you have the whole cotton full, right? You think you are now the man, okay? And you walk around strutting. Before you walked around like this, now you walk strutting, right? And now somebody gets you mad, you get ticked off at them real quick because you're full of yourself. Isn't that true? Huh? Go ahead, talk to me. My mom got a few bucks on him, and he's a little buff, and he's a little sweet. He's got a few hundred on him, and boom, he's got looks like a big shot of That's pride does that. Pride is dangerous, right? So he starts off. Now watch what happens here. Okay, you're gonna read this, okay, and you're gonna try. Now keep the train of thought. He gets butted up. You're royalty. Okay, he gets confidence. Okay, he now he thinks he's something. He tells his young boy, "Go take care of least of my problems." Have you ever heard that someone say that? Take care of that person. That's the least of my problems, right? What? Now, I want to read this verse. You tell me what's happening to Gideon. Gideon is becoming full of himself. Okay, here we go. 21 of chapter 8 of the book of Judges. Then Zebah and Zalmunna. Why can't they call these guys Joe and Harry? You know what I mean? Ziba and Zalmunna. Hey, imagine calling a kid, hey, Zalmunna, come here, Ziba. Oh, gee, and rise down and fall upon us. That's these kings are saying to Gideon. For as the man is, so is his strength. And Gideon arose and slew Ziba and Zalmunna. And listen, and took away the ornaments that were on their camel's neck. What was happening?
Taking some of the spoil piece. Want some of the little fancy things we can kind of run his own hand.
Is it? Yeah, keep on going. So look what he's doing. Okay, remember, this guy, he's taking what? He's taking. You're gonna. It's gold and stuff. We're gonna see. He's gonna take in gold. What's happening to him? You think? He wants the riches. He thinks he's entitled. You think about it. He's not royalty. He's not a king, right? This gold, and we're gonna see this gold is on the camels of these kings. He's not king. He's not royalty. He thinks he's entitled because he's starting to believe that he's great. Look at those kings. Who do you think they are? I'm going to take their stuff. You know what he's doing? He compromises. He's starting to compromise. When you're small and focused on the Lord, do you compromise? You stay the course. These preachers get puffed up. They get big. Then they get prideful, right? They think now they're the man, and they start doing stupid stuff. He starts doing stupid stuff. That happens, right? So he gets praised by his enemies, right? Hey, right? You think about it. You're gonna end up with your neck cut off. You know something? You're gonna do as much as you can. Oh yeah, you're handsome. My son one day, right? He was in trouble. He was in trouble, right? He was in trouble. So I call him. My wife is sitting there. The kid is sitting there. I'm sitting here. The kid is in trouble. The wife says, he did this. I said, we'll see. We'll talk to him. He sits down. I sit down. I talk to him. I says, Neil, I says, Noah, you tell me the truth, okay? He starts saying, hey, Dad, your biceps. I was a weightlifter. He says, Dad, your biceps, they're huge. They're really big. I said, you really think so, Noah? Oh, yeah. They're big, Dad. You're a strong guy. Really? Honey, he didn't do nothing wrong. My wife says, really? He says, Don, he just buffaloed you. Watch. Noah, what you do? What? I did this. I stood paralyzed. I said, the kid just smooshed me. He just said, wow, beautiful biceps to get out of trouble. And I started looking at my biceps. I started believing in him. Tricky, huh? Hey, I like my biceps, man. What are you talking about? You don't think I got good biceps? He smoothed me, man. My wife said, watch this. Noah, I did this. She looked at me. She said, yeah.
Interesting to see here that these kings accepted their finger.
Yeah, they do.
There was no fight.
But I don't think they do.
Right.
They're captured. They were captured. 120,000 Midianites dead. He knew. Okay. Remember, last week he kept on pursuing. He kept on going with the task. So he was doing good. But at the end, we're going to find out. Let's go on. I'm really liking that. So he's praised by his enemies. He's praised by his friends. I want you to read this verse with me and tell me what's happening. Okay? Judges 8:22. Then the men of Israel said unto Gideon, rule thou over us, both thou and thy son, and thy son's son also. For thou hast delivered us from the hands of the Midian. So, What is the problem here? Okay, now now read the verse. What's the problem? There is a problem here. They're telling, let me help you. They're telling Gideon to be what overall? King. They tell him to be king. What's the problem? Okay, you keep that thought. That's a great thought. That's going to be next. So what's the problem? He's not the line of a king, so he's not a king. Did God call him to be a king? God called him to be a what? What did God call him? Yeah, but what did God call him? A deliverer, a deliverer and a judge to get you right. He's a deliverer and he's a judge. That's what God called him. Did God call him to be a king? No. Watch Judges 6:14. And the Lord looked upon him, which is Gideon, and said, "Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hands of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee?" So he's telling Gideon, "You're going to be a deliverer, a judge, not a king." Now, if he listened to the people, what would happen? Then what would happen? What else would happen? Israel would be at great. Israel would be in big trouble. It's not what God wanted, right? If God wanted to be a king, what would he said? You're going to be a king, right? So these guys, people throughout my life had try to figure out my life. They tell me what I should be and I shouldn't be. Thank God I don't listen to people. Thank God I have listened to the Lord, because if I had listened to people, I would be in big trouble. But thank God I have listened to the Lord. So Gideon said no. Okay, but think about it. Okay, Gideon said no. So we're gonna keep on learning that God did not call Gideon to be a king, but he called Gideon to be a judge. Now we're gonna see what happens. So what takes him down is the praise of his enemies, the praise of his friends, but also the praise of his own heart. Okay? His own heart is going to take him down. Okay, as we go on. Judges 8:24 and 25. Okay? Get you there? And Gideon said unto them, listen, I would listen to this. Listen what Gideon wants. I would desire a request of you, that ye give me every man the earrings of his prey, for they had golden earrings, because they will willingly give them. And they spread a garment, and they did cast therein every man the earrings of his prey. Who are the Ishmaelites? Yeah, correct. So they're the they're the Arabs. So these Midianites and Amalekites are the Ishmaelites. So they're from Ishmael. Okay, all right. So Gideon said he didn't want to be a king, right? Right? He said that, right? He didn't want to be a king.